Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the ADK channel, and today we're going to be checking out a video that I have seen. That's a quick disclosure, I have seen it, but I thought it would be an interesting one for Andy and Kirk to check out. Now, we've talked on this channel about long songs, and I'm not a massive fan of long songs. And you like your Doom songs that go on for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, that's traditional. So we're not doing a Doom song. So don't worry. I'm quite happy, but we are going to do a 20-minute song.
What?
Just to keep you guys happy, but it's a 20-minute song that I actually like. So I hope you have a drink. I hope you're ready. We're getting this one out of the way early in our reaction session. I won't say anything more than that, but let's go check out today's video.
After sleeping through 100 million centuries, we have finally opened our eyes on a sumptuous planet, sparkling with color, bountiful with life. Within decades, we must close our eyes again. Isn't it a noble and enlightened way of spending our brief time in the sun? To work at understanding the universe and how we have come to wake up in it.
The cosmic law of gravity pulled the newborns around the fire. Careless coals, infinity in every vast direction. The lonely Pharaoh in the Goldilocks zone, she has exhaled to exhale. From the stellar nursery into a carbon feast. Enter Luca, the tapestry of chemistry. There's a writing in the garden, leading us to the mother of all. We are one, we are universe. Oh, there's what will be, science of the legal, you see. Of a biological whole. Enter the tapestry of chemistry. There's a writing in the garden, leading us to the mother of all. We are one, we are universe. What will be science of the legal, you see. Aliens pass right down the tide of our soul. A day-to-day new opening for the greatest show. Science of the Devonian Sea. Aliens pass right in the tide of our soul. A day-to-day new opening for the greatest show. She was the A4. Perfect fantasy to idolatry, to self-destructive weaponry, and to the guardians, deep breath in the past, and a mystic crowd of the hunted. Ionia, the cradle of all, the architecture of understanding, the human lust to feel, so attempt to know, to rule the earth. Hunger for shiny rocks, for giant mushroom clouds, the will to do as you'd be done by. Enter history, the Crokinati, enter rat kind. He took his time in the sun, and a dream to understand a single grain of sand. He gave birth to poetry, but wonder seems to be bring the last light of
potential people who could have been here in my place, but who will in fact never see the light of day, outnumber the sand grains of Sahara. Certainly those unborn ghosts include greater poets than Keats, scientists greater than Newton. We know this state from which the vast majority have never stirred.
Thus, from the war of nature, from famine and death, the most exalted object which we are capable of conceiving, namely the production of the higher animals, directly follows. There is grandeur in this view of life, with its several powers originally breathed into a few forms or into one. And that whilst this planet has gone cycling on according to the fixed law of gravity, from so simple a beginning, endless forms most beautiful and most wonderful have been and are being evolved.
Wow, that was long. Okay, so if you didn't get that, that was Nightwish and The Greatest Show on Earth, which was off of a couple of albums back now from theirs. But yeah, so this is definitely not a song that you give to someone as their first Nightwish song to check out. You go, oh yeah, check out Nightwish. This is the song you go and check out. This was given to me as my second ever Nightwish reaction song. So I'd only ever heard one song before this, and I just did not get this the first time I heard this. And my reaction, I just questioned it like a normal song. So I watched this, and I remember the first time, and I completely changed my view on it as I listened to more Nightwish, and I've understood the song, and I've gone back to it. But my first one was like, that intro needs to be short, and there's way too much of that piano stuff at the beginning. They could get that down to about 10 seconds, and they can move on to the next part of the song. And what's all this talking bit? Let's get it together, get those riffs in there. And I'm like, yeah, I did not get this song at all when I first heard this at all. And people really did pick that up for me. So, but I completely understand it. It's talking about the origins of the universe and our time on Earth as humans, and the whole element of the Earth being formed, and that's where you get all the different pieces of the journey. But that's as far as I'm going to go on it, because I have reacted to this before. So I'm going to throw this over to Kurt first, actually, on this one today.
I agree with what you're saying. I think this song is just too important to break it down in each of its parts and say, why are they using decapitated power chords there? Why is that haunting piano extended by an extra 16 bars? I don't think you're understanding the song if you just analyze it like that in a dispassionate way. There were some epic moments in that, as you would expect from Nightwish. I've got to be honest, I was blown away by that, by the second half of it. I think the first 6 minutes, I was at points thinking, can I get through this? But that was just devastating, wasn't it? In its emotional intensity. There were some unbelievable moments in there. Do you know what I really enjoyed, surprisingly? The spoken word passages.
Okay.
Williams. I think that was really dark. It reminded me of that Swedish band Therion, who more or less invented symphonic metal, didn't
Yeah.
it? There were some really tasty Metallica riffs in there. I always mention Metallica when I'm talking about Nightwish because I think the guitar player evidently loves the Black Album, doesn't he? I think he does get a lot of his riffs from there. And at one point, did you notice that he quite devilishly smiled at the camera and played the tritone from Enter Sandman? I think it was about 15 minutes. I really liked that, how he referenced that.
Sneaked it in.
This is a band where I watch them and I just want to be the keyboard player as well. He just stands out. I'd love to be with such a pyrotechnic stage show. And it's almost like every time he presses a key, the flames will come up, won't they? It's just, you could almost think that he's in control of everything, like the puppet master.
Well, he is, considering he is the main composer of the band, so he writes basically the songs, which could explain why there is a lot of keyboard.
Yeah.
And it is the most prominent instrument in the entire band. It really is.
That's what's unique about this band. They're so unique on a musical level and as a business entity. And I'll just explain the second part of what I mean by that. This is one of the few bands in contemporary music, in any genre, that are absolutely immune to what journalists or critics say because their fan base is so loyal to them and will follow them through thick and thin. They never have to write any piece of music and read any review from anyone in the music industry. It's irrelevant. They've got their own audience and they just grow together. And that is such a special place to be in as an artist. I mean, look at that stage set. They've worked so hard to get there. They conquered the world. Look at it at the end. I mean, I got a feeling that the tragedy of a world almost destroyed by nuclear devastation, because they did mention a mushroom cloud, didn't they, at one point as well. The linear storytelling is fantastic. However, there are some utterly absurd moments in there. I do like the way that they transition from one part to another as if you are reading a novel or watching a film. But what was the guitar player doing when he was imitating a dog barking or a hound, a white fang barking? I just thought that was so
that was the other guy, I think, wasn't it?
That's the guy. He also plays guitar as well, and he does the bagpipes, and he does.
That was very strange. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I understand. Well, that whole bit is meant to be the evolution of men from being hunting in the caves, being cavemen, to civilization. So that was meant to be where human beings became from primate type. That's what that concept was, and that's why in the background you had all that running through the forests.
Yeah,
being pack animals chasing you and moving us onwards in our existence as we evolve, and that's why you've got a quote from Darwin at the end about the evolution of man.
I was going to ask who was, and I feel like I should know that person who was reading out so it's Charles Darwin from The Origin of the Species, is it?
That's what he was reading from, and is it Dawkins? I think was
that
Richard Dawkins?
Richard Dawkins, is it?
Yeah,
I thought he was taller than that. Oh, okay. I love the elegance of his voice. Yeah, I mean that was just epic. Before I hand over to Andy, I could watch that again. The only part where I did,
but you need to watch it again. That's the problem.
True, yeah.
to appreciate it.
The only part I didn't like was the bagpipes, but I think that's just my personal dislike of romantic Scottish nationalism. So I don't think I need to criticise that. That's just a trigger point for me as an English person. But epic song, Andy. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, epic. I mean, I agree with you about the bagpipes. Not keen on the traditional version, and I think the sort of electronic rock version doesn't really bring anything to a band like Nightwish. But yeah, we were sitting there watching, and we were sort of talking off camera. Was it Nightwish? Because I don't know about you two, other than the singer, whoever it may be, and in this case it's Floor Jansen, and the bassist and vocalist Marco, whatever his name is. That wasn't him though, Dave, was it?
No, it was Marco.
Was it?
Yeah, Marco Heitel. He was still with them at this point.
Okay.
Because in the early days of Marco didn't have a beard or anything. In early Nightwish.
I thought he had an even more epic beard than that guy had. And if it wasn't him, they brought a look alike.
Well, this was about 8 years ago when this came out.
I thought perhaps as we were actually, it's a brand new, Nightwish release. But I mean, yeah, epic on all counts, musically, visually. I mean, capturing a Nightwish show, and I assume that's like an official DVD release, or
yeah,
that was brilliant. And how good would it have been to have been in that audience? There's so much to take in. But yeah, we've talked about Nightwish before. The songs are driven by the keyboards and the drums. The guitar's almost redundant at times. Not on some tracks. It's quite prominent, and there's some real good riffs. But that one is just sort of behind. There's a couple of occasions that I've noted down, sort of the 11-minute mark and the 14-minute mark. The song could quite easily have ended, and everyone would have been happy. It kind of went to almost, you mentioned the spoken word parts, Kirk, and just sort of subtle keyboard bits. And then when it comes back after those two sort of intervals, those riffs, that sort of music passage is so heavy. You got Floor doing her windmills. That I really like those elements. You say it's not really the introduction to Nightwish, but if you was a young metal and rock fan and you heard that, if I'd heard that, I'd been absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me the first time I heard Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner by Iron Maiden. I mean, that's a mere 13 minutes, I think. But that's got the same, epic approach, different sections, spoken word, storytelling. That's just an expansion on that theme, isn't it? But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I want to listen to the original. I want to watch that again. Just very, very talented band who are on top of the game and deserve to be there. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, Dave. That's fantastic.
No worries. Well, there we go. That is Nightwish and the Greatest Show on Earth. If anyone wants to see my train wreck of an original reaction, go check out my Dave Does one, and you can tell what I knew about Nightwish back then. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, so hopefully you did too. Now, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.